This is my version of a DIY AM radio transmitter. There are plenty of versions of this on YouTube, so nothing new here. I just wanted to see if I could get it to work and to pass on some of the lessons I learned along with my many mistakes. One lesson I learned very early on is always to check your circuit, and in this case the audio source. I initially connected the audio source via crocodile clips attached to stripped back wires on an audio jack. Turns out there was no audio feed from these connections, so I connected wires directly to the jack. As a result of this error, I assumed that the cheap transformers I bought from Amazon were not working. So I invested in a transformer recommended by a DIY AM radio website. Turns out the cheap ones work grand. For experimental purposes, sound quality not as good. For the amplifier circuit, I'm using these small transistors. These overheated very regularly. I've replaced them with a more suitable transistor. I would think also that the addition of a heatsink to the transistor might improve things too. This is my AM radio transmitter system, or station if you like. So what have we got? AM radio here, audio source here, so music coming from the phone through here goes into a little amplifier circuit here. This is the AM radio transmitter part. This is a transformer, a 1 megahertz oscillator. We've connected the aerial part to the earth of the electrical system. Be careful you get that right. So I've turned on the radio. It's tuned to 1 megahertz on the medium wave, or AM as they say in the States. So I'll switch on the audio source. And we hear nothing because there's no power on. So you're hearing AC/DC. And this is about as far as I get with it. Using my body as an aerial. Not a very long range, you can see. I also have a recording of a 1 megahertz single tone frequency that you can hear there. Makes it much easier to analyze the signal on an oscilloscope when I'm trying to examine what goes on in the circuit. This is the circuit diagram. This here is the audio jack. There is left and right speaker. I've obviously just connected to the left speaker. Here is the little amplifier circuit. This resistor here is actually to protect the transistor. Now I've changed this from tip 29 to another one that I've described earlier on. The resistor is there to stop overheating, which wasn't terribly successful really. Okay, so this is the transformer. I'm using separate power source for both the amplifier circuit and the oscillator circuit. I tried working the item off the same power source and it didn't work. Okay, so transformer and the oscillator connect to the antenna to the earth pin in the electrical system, don't connect to the live pin obviously, and we go to earth. This resistor here is for the oscillator. That was overheating, so I decided to put that one in there. That's pretty much it.